I have never seen a group of adult man babies go out this sad over video games being available onto a different plastic box. It is something I've never witnessed in my entire career of doing YouTube or even playing video games. This is worse than when Sonic was put on the Nintendo platform. This is worse than when Xbox games went to PlayStation, because right now what we're seeing are fanboys who used to be in direct cahoots with each other literally do one of two things: either eat each other alive right on Twitter as we see friendships break down and dissolve over and over again, or those exact same fanboys becoming social pariahs in the community that they've created and becoming Nintendo fanboys. It is so good watching them just squirrel around and try to freak out and grasp onto anything they possibly can because they devoted their entire life to a corporation in a plastic box who thought they cared about them. In fact, it's gotten so bad that people like JTech TV are now on a rampage, going around and providing content strikes onto other channels. Klutzy King, friend of the channel, just recently got his channel struck by JTech TV for a 2.5-year-old video as he was getting made fun of and criticized. Yeah, that's how back far we're going. That's how hurt these boys are. Now, of course, the counterclaim has in fact been filed, but JTech TV is on a different rampage. He went onto Twitter and said thank you and added Team YouTube while filing a false copyright DMCA takedown notification, giving Klutzy a strike onto his channel. So you know what? Since JTech wanted to at YouTube, Joe from Seattle had a great idea as well. Why don't we all at Team YouTube and let them know how this person is now filing false copyright strikes onto channels, even though he doesn't understand what the law actually is. But it gets even worse, because even though fanboys are doing horrible things to people making content about them or even criticizing them, or as they're going around and also having infights with each other, it turns out that fanboys are so emotionally damaged and stunted, they are now emailing PlayStation begging them to not put games on Xbox. I can't. Y'all listen, y'all are going out sad. Y'all are going out sad. This is bad. Y'all thought Xbox fanboys were going out sad when just 4 games hit? Nah, baby. Let's see what happened though, shall we? According to PlayStation Lifestyle, they tweeted this out yesterday saying, PS5 fans against multi-platform games, email Sony and get a response. No, this has got to be a meme, right? It's got to be a joke, right? Or we're going to have a change.org petition next. Everybody sign this petition so Sony doesn't put games onto Xbox because Xbox is dead. Yeah, that's what's probably going to happen next. I guarantee it. Just like everybody was making fun of Xbox fanboys for wanting to buy Helldivers and play a video game, everybody is now going to be making fun of you clowns for emailing the corporation that you think cares about you, because clearly you are not enough. Exclusivity is a detriment to this current landscaping market, and we've told you this for 10+ years, but you've chosen to ignore it. You clowns have acted as if you were higher and mightier than everybody else simply because you bought a different plastic box. Yet here we have practically every single exclusive of your platform on the PC, and soon to be the whole slate, guaranteed baby, happening onto the Xbox platform as well. Y'all made fun of that this is an Xbox commercial. Well, this is now a PlayStation 2. And the funnier part is, if you pay for developer mode for $20, you can even emulate all the old PS1, PS2, and even PS3 games on your series consoles. So on top of that, all your games are going to be going to Xbox at some point or another, and even all the backwards compatible games that you have to either buy again or don't have access to because PlayStation doesn't want to put the goddamn disc in the console, you don't even have, but everybody else does. Anyways, let's see what the article had to say and go from there. A recent PlayStation job ad ended up ruffling feathers as it suggested that PS5 first-party games were destined for Xbox, or at least that's how a large portion of the gaming community took it. What followed was somewhat of a firestorm, and now some concerned fans are emailing Sony to inquire about its multi-platform plans. Insiders have cautioned players against taking the job ad in question out of context. Sony has already said its first-party and single-player games will largely remain exclusive to one console, with some exceptions like LEGO Horizon Adventures, which Sony felt was a good fit for Nintendo Switch. Let's stop right here with this article, though, because I can already feel the copium being inhaled in massive quantities as the valves begin to turn and the gaskets begin to open. Because clearly right now, this author is trying to calm everybody down, saying, you guys, look, they're not going to put their exclusives onto the Xbox platform. I mean, just because they already put the whole slate on the PC besides a couple of games doesn't really mean anything. Just because they went ahead and put LEGO Horizon Adventures, they felt it was a good fit for that platform. That makes sense, you guys, right? Well, think about it like this. PlayStation would have rather put LEGO Horizon Adventures onto the Nintendo Switch 1 instead of putting it onto the PlayStation 4. Is it starting to sink in yet? Have you grasped that concept yet? Is it starting to be apparent what they actually care about right now? Because clearly, y'all don't buy games. And what's even better is, apparently, Helldivers is such a great fit. They not only put it day and date onto PC, but they also now putting it onto Xbox. Weird how that game was paraded around as a first-party IP owned by PlayStation and Sony as an exclusive, and now that baby's going multi-platform. It's almost like exclusivity doesn't benefit anybody, not even the actual company itself. It only benefits fanboys for Twitter list wars. But hey, the copium continues. As the article in fact says this, first-party games will continue to launch on PC at a later date, but live service games are expected to launch on all platforms, including Xbox, starting with Helldivers 2. Nevertheless, players want clarification, and at least one fan has received a response from Sony. Although it's the most boilerplate text I've ever seen, I'm frankly surprised that Sony even bothered to entertain the email. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love this. We have moved the goalpost from just 4 games on Xbox, as everybody called Xbox fanboys delusional. Everybody said, Alex, you're wrong. And hey, you know what? At that moment in time, I thought I was right, but it turns out I was wrong. It wasn't just 4 games. The thing is, though, denial is not just a river in Egypt, because the new just 4 games is now just live service games. Again, it always starts with just the tip, and it always goes farther from there. You boys, you clowns, all you authors of websites dedicated to specific platforms and console boxes, you guys are going to have a hell of a time coming your way, because now you're going to have to validate or vindicate your own perspective as to why you have to go ahead and buy this plastic box. And it's going to be hilarious to see you guys grasping at straws over and over again. It's just 4 games! Well, it's just live service games now too. Funny how these things work out, don't they? I mean, it gets even better when people like Porter Rock 77 can see this coming from a mile away and nobody else actually can. Hell, he even called people out saying, look, if you're not going to leave PlayStation because their games are going multi-platform, why are you going to go ahead and make fun of Xbox fanboys who said they were going to stay on Xbox when their games are multi-platform too? The fact that an actual PlayStation fanboy, a guy who has a PlayStation pillow, can see this from a mile away, can call out the hypocrisy, and yet nobody else can, has to be the funniest thing I've actually ever seen. This is literally absolute cinema. And it gets even better because Dusttite on Reddit did in fact send the email, and here's the response from Sony directly. That's one. While we continue to explore new ways to grow and evolve the gaming ecosystem, we are committed to preserving the unique identity that PlayStation represents. As we have in the past, we will always listen to feedback from our community, including valued players like you, and ensure that our decisions are aligned with the experiences you expect from PlayStation. For the latest updates, please keep an eye on our official blog here for any announcements. Thank you again for sharing your feedback. We're committed to providing you with the best gaming experiences possible and will continue to work hard to ensure PlayStation remains your platform of choice. Warm regards, PlayStation head office. Oh, you know this dude had to be crying into his pillows that night, getting that kind of response back from PlayStation. The fact that they even responded in the first place has to be the funniest thing actually possible. The best thing about all of this is this person was so upset. Let's admit what it really is. It's some 40-year-old guy who's mad about somebody else playing a video game that they didn't buy the plastic box that he bought. That's exactly what this is. It's a grown-ass adult acting this way. These aren't kids anymore. They were kids back in the 80s and 90s. Now it's just sad because they're grown adults with more gray in their beard than me trying to fight a console war. Well, literally it's just me here making fun of them. Let's be real. And this dude was literally crying in the entire time. Oh, we're going to do the best that we can to give you the best experiences possible. You know what that means? You're going to play the games on PlayStation, and your buddy who's on Xbox, he's going to play them too. Yes, dude. Yeah, bro, listen. This has to be the best thing ever. You guys are going out sad. I mean, in a really sad, pathetic way. More than anything I could have honestly ever imagined. And I have a feeling that the next 6 to 8 months, you guys are going to go out even sadder as more news happens, as more news breaks, as more stuff occurs. Oh my God. If PlayStation goes day and date onto PC, that's going to be another mental breakdown for you guys. Then you guys will cope, seethe, maul. Well, they're going to put an app on there to compete with Steam. Yeah, okay. Epic Games did a great job doing that. Compete with Steam. But the funnier part about this is just watching PlayStation fanboys try and twist themselves or convince themselves and others that they're no longer fanboys. In fact, our favorite on the channel, the one, the only Dreamcast guy, decided to report on this, and watching the cope happen in real time is amazing.
Now, I want to talk about this because I think I'm still super fascinated about the idea of PlayStation specifically trying the multi-platform approach, because historically, right now, PlayStation 5 is very, very much in the lead. This entire console generation, they've been absolutely just steamrolling. Month after month, quarter after quarter, they've been setting record-breaking sales. But now, suddenly they've thought, okay, how can we be more profitable? Sony has talked about the fact that this console generation has actually been the most profitable time ever in PlayStation history. They have made more money on just the PlayStation 5 than they did on the 4, 5, 3, 2, 1.
You know what's hilarious? It's not the fact that you're fascinated with all of this. It's the fact that a company and corporation whose entire mantra of being active is to go ahead and make the red line go up. If it goes down, that's a problem. People are getting chopped. Heads are going to roll. People are going to lose their jobs. That's how it works. It's even funnier, though, when you realize that when the red line goes up, they still fire everybody. So it really doesn't even matter which way the line goes. It's a very dystopian outlook, isn't it? The thing is, though, these companies, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, all of them, they want as much money as possible. Let me correct that, actually. They don't want as much money as possible. They want all the money possible. And the thing is, you guys, literally, you guys, you PlayStation fanboys, are not buying enough games. And we saw that happen directly. That's two. We saw it happen because Tom Warren posted this image yesterday of the top selling games onto the PlayStation platform. And would you look at that? A big chunk of them are Microsofts and Xboxes. What, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Because it turns out you guys are more excited about Xbox games than you are about your own games. And the better part is PlayStation isn't putting out any games of their own. It looks like they have the Concord effect. They just don't want to make a mistake again, apparently, and have it cost billions of dollars. And regardless about how much more money they've made from the other PlayStation eras, that's not what they're concerned about. They're concerned about how do we make even more money right now. And if there is a group of people willing to buy your product on a different platform because they're not going to buy your plastic box, sell them the game. It's not a new concept, my boy. There are 30 plus million people who do not want to spend $600 to $800 on a single console for 1 or 2 games. They would rather just buy the game themselves. And doing that is a much better call to action for them than it would be to buy an entire new ecosystem and platform to go ahead and spend all that money there for one product that they were going to get and then never touch again. That's why they put all their games onto the PC. And that's why you're having a hard time trying to figure this all out. They're making so much money. Why would they do this? Because they want more money, because you're not giving them enough money. That's why they raised the cost of the PS5s from the originals to the slims. That's why they went ahead and said, you know what? You want the disc drive because we know you're the pro kind of gamer. You got to pay for that sumbitch separately. That's why they said those things. And the fact you can't grasp this concept is the funniest part of all, but it gets better.
Essentially, what they're basically saying is like, look, I like this. PlayStation gives the perfect politician's answer while saying they're going multi-platform. I do think this is it. I do think they're basically saying, look, the real debate now is how much is it going to be? Is it just going to be live service games? Is it going to be Spider-Man? Is it going to be Astrobot? I mean, how much is it going to be? We really don't actually know.
My boy, go ahead and make the thumbnail. We know the one you're going to make. One of these. One of those bad boys. And just put on the actual title in big yellow bold font. PS5 is dead. PlayStation dead. No more PlayStations. You don't need a PS5 anymore. PlayStation buried, dead, and gone. That's what you got to do now, because clearly you've done that to Xbox for over how many years, over how many times that we've had to go over this, and you sat there and made that content. You've deliberately said that because these games are no longer on Xboxes exclusively, that platform is effectively dead, which means by your own logic that everybody's pointing out to you, PlayStation, my boy, is in the ground, buried 6 feet deep, and we're just waiting for you to make that thumbnail. Go on, do it. You know you need to. You know you have to, but you won't because you're a coward. We know it. We all know it.
Some of the best PlayStation exclusives that we've gotten for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, a lot of them weren't even made by PlayStation. Stuff like this, the Final Fantasy VII Remake. This first moment of looking up at the plate, of exploring a fully 3D realized Midgar, this stuff was incredible. And I feel like this sold a lot of PlayStation 4s and sold a lot of PlayStation 5s. The fact that this is now third party, you're about to be able to buy this on an Xbox. We'll see how many Xbox people actually buy it. My theory is less than 100,000 sales. But I still think that the idea that this is no longer an exclusive, to me, signals the fact that, honestly, PlayStation is not as scared about locking stuff down as they've been historically.
This is the best. A game that literally should not have been exclusive because it was only exclusive because it was money hatted by PlayStation, did not sell enough copies for Square Enix, had to be put onto the PC platform, and then now being put onto the Xbox platform. Oh, by the way, the Switch 2, you forgot about that one, by the way, my boy. The best part is you're like, oh, this sold so many consoles. This sold so many things. If it wasn't for this game, people wouldn't buy the platform. Well, it turns out that it wasn't enough. You guys didn't buy enough. You were never enough in the first place. I don't understand how you guys can't grasp this concept. Clearly, you're not businessmen. You're only sitting there thinking to yourselves, well, you know what, guys? We have to protect the sanctity of this platform and plastic box. It's the only way we can survive in this era, when in reality, the only thing that matters are those big old fat baby greenbacks, my boy. That's all it is, and you guys can't grasp this concept. Now you're thinking, you're like, oh, what's it gonna be next, guys? Live service games? When's the line gonna end? It's not gonna end. And watching you cope about this, as if Xbox would have done this exact same thing, you would have said they were dead 15 videos ago, all back to back, right across the board. But when PlayStation does it, oh, this is interesting. This is a new foray for the gaming industry. God. It can't be any more transparent than that now, my boy, can it?
Now, to be fair, the Red Dragon is a massive troll fanboy account, but I did want to show this tweet here. No one is buying an Xbox to buy PlayStation games. People buy a PlayStation because it's the only place you can play all PlayStation hits and Xbox games. Don't get it twisted. Sony said years ago live service games, how they're going to be treated differently and multi-platform. A lot of people, though, are basically saying this is just going to be a tiny segment of it.
Hey, yo, hold on. No shot. You literally used the Red Dragon in your video and you called him a massive troll fanboy and you're trying to use him as a point of reference to make your argument for... Bro, you can't make this up. This is a joke. It's this, like, what is this, brother? How can you sit here and use that? What are you going to do? Use, like, Zuby Tech and Nib95 next? Oh, I'm sorry, you've already used those fanboys in your content before. Yes, you gotta love it. Oh, guys, it's just live service games. It's not the whole slate. Remember, boys, it's just 4 games. And you guys clamored and freaked out and said, it's the whole slate. 4 games is where it starts. Well, everybody's telling you right now, it's just live service games. And you're putting your head in the sand like an ostrich going, la, 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 la. I don't believe you. Well, you know what? You better start believing, baby, because the Tooth Fairy's real, apparently.
I do think that if PlayStation starts putting everything multi-platform, I hope they're more transparent than Xbox was. I hope they straight up say multi-platform games are going to be live service stuff first. After that, maybe we'll see. Okay, multi-platform stuff is going to be first-party exclusives after 2 years. Now that it's been 2 years, we can put Spider-Man there. We can put God of War there. And if they're successful, we'll see how it does.
You want to talk about transparency? I'll give you transparency. How about the fact that PlayStation was so transparent, they didn't even tell you they were going to put Helldivers on the Xbox. They just straight off went and published that sumbitch on their own. Didn't say a word to you. Didn't say just live service games. Didn't say whole slate. They just said, guess what, boys? Surprise, surprise. That sumbitch is on the way to the Xbox platform. You know, the platform that you guys argue about is dead every single day. That one, yeah, we're putting our games on there because clearly you're not buying enough of them, and Concord costs too much money, and all the games with the highfalutin graphics that y'all want, they cost too much money too, and y'all aren't buying those either. So guess what? Kiss your sweet bippy goodbye, because y'all are going multi-plat gaming, baby. Every fanboy is losing their minds right now, sending emails, sending letters, coping on streams, making tweets, fighting each other, having a massive civil war, all because of a job post and Helldivers 2 hitting Xbox. And baby, it couldn't be sweeter than this. Because the big thing about all of this is the fact that exclusivity only hurts in the long run, and it only impacts you in a negative way as an actual consumer and customer. And the only people exclusivity in fact benefits in the year 2025 are the fanboys trying to make a list war, because clearly they're too busy on Twitter and not busy enough playing and beating video games. It seems to be like that's the real problem around here. Less time on Twitter, more time playing the video game, and you wouldn't have this issue in the first place now, would you? But you know what? As always, if you liked today's video, thank you. And if you didn't like it, fuck you. If you want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content like this, and my hot takes in the gaming industry, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 89,000 subscribers, and I just gotta say thank you guys so very much for everything. If you want to get Discord access and most during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Come on down Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Trust me, it's a hell of a show, and you don't want to miss it as I get insulted with AITTS from the entire chat for about 5.5 hours. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!